Okay, so let's start by introducing ourselves. We are David and Alyssa Muller, and we are entrepreneurs. We've been entrepreneurs for the last 30 years or so, and we've learned a lot of different things. We've done a lot of different things to generate revenue, different businesses. Some have been pretty successful, while others have been more educational. And we've tried to seek out as many people that we as we could that were more successful than us to learn everything we could from those people. And so over the course of 30 years, what we've done is we've been able to learn a lot of different things about what makes some people successful while other people not. It turns out that highly successful people have certain traits in common. And so what we've done is we've kind of distilled all of that knowledge that we have obtained up to this point and into what we call the philosophy of the 5 habits of success. So today, what we're going to go through is the 5 habits of success. And I'm going to go through a couple of things real quick before that, and then we'll get into some other things after that. You have anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know this is episode 4, and the P2K stands for Promises to Keep. So as it says, Promises to Keep, episode 4, P2K. It's our brand just to keep front and center of all the things that we do are promises to keep. And like David has said in the past, we've shared this to many people that the promises that we have to keep are not just the promises to us as, an entrepreneur, but they are to each other as husband and wife. For you, it may be as a father, as a mother, a son, a daughter, but we all have promises to keep. And that's really one of the staples of the foundation of our brand is promises to keep.
Yep. So when we talk about the 5 habits of success, we need to kind of set some preferences. And the first one is it's a system. If you've hung out with me at all, you know I love systems. And so also we have a promise to go along with the system. And it looks like this. If you apply these 3 traits that I'm about to list to the system that we teach, that is the 5 habits of success, we promise that you will turn your goals into achievements and discover your greatest reward. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, this is a roadmap, a treasure map, if you will, to help you get there. So there's 3 things that you need to apply, though. And the first one is be coachable. It's important to always be coachable and learn from others, have a coach or a mentor. The second one is to be consistent. This is consistency above all really is key. And then the third one is never quit. Now, if you do those 3 things and you apply the coachability, the consistency, and just sheer bulldog tenacity to what it is that we're about to go over, I've never seen this not work. So you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say all 3 are just as important. A lot of people might ask, well, what's the most important? They're all 3 equally important. They will definitely ensure your success, because if you don't do any of the 3, you are more likely not to be successful in whatever it is that you're applying the 5 habits to try and accomplish.
Yep, good. So let's, the beginning of the system, basically we have this system, it's broken down into 4 sections. The first section, it talks about values and vision. The second one is roles and goals. And then we get into the actual habits of success. And then we get into the generations of growth. And those are the 4 sections. So we're gonna clip through a couple of them real quick. First of all, the visions and values. First part of what we do is we help uncover your values. We go through a little bit of process to kind of dig real deep and see what it is that makes you tick, and then help that develops the vision. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. That's Gandhi had said that. And moving on to creating your vision, basically we're going to begin to create a plan for what it is, what kind of lifestyle that is you want to live. What are your goals in life, short-term goals, long-term goals, lifestyle goals. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? And also legacy goals. What do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? So we go into that. And you want to cherish your visions and your dreams because they're the children of your soul and the blueprints of your ultimate accomplishments. And Napoleon Hill obviously said that. He's one of my favorite authors. Yeah, anything to add to that? Good. So, and then we get into the roles and goals. That's section 2. We identify roles. We all have different hats that we wear throughout the day. We all have different, titles or roles that we play. And God's using us to present to circumstances that make us more useful in later roles as we have this unfolding story.
I think this is one of the most important sections too, is to be very clear on your roles. In order to really move forward with the 5 habits, you have to have a very clear vision of your role. So you shouldn't have more than 5. And I would say start with a minimum of 2 when you're setting that up.
Yep, perfect. So then, so the roles and goals, first of all, you're going to develop your plan. Because basically a goal without a plan is just a wish. And then let's get into the actual habits themselves. So the first habit is personal growth. It's always because basically it deals with your mind, and your mind is like a garden. And what you plant in your garden is what's going to grow. But as you know, there's a lot of negative seeds that inadvertently, because we're bombarded with information all the time. And so if we don't consciously tend to the garden of our mind, we may not like what grows in there. You got to weed the garden.
Definitely.
To add to that?
No.
I got a visual for it. Basically, your mind's like a garden. You got these nice rows of vegetables if you got organized, or maybe your mind's more creative and it's more pretty like this. But the point is, if you don't control what goes into your mind, it might just end up like this.
Yeah.
This is my backyard. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. But I have had a backyard.
We have had a backyard that looked like that when we were traveling a lot.
Yeah. So habit number 1 is daily personal growth that deals with your mind. You could look at these as areas that you focus on improving these 5 areas of your life. And so the second habit is practice what you preach. This deals with your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is basically really your best marketing tool. And it really, the best way to determine if somebody is incongruent, or the best way to determine what their true values and visions are, is to take a look at their lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that I've heard David say often about this is that if you sell Fords, you're not going to drive a Chevy. Oh, so there's the picture. I like it. I pay attention when he talks.
Right.
But I love that example because it really is true. If you're not congruent and aligned with actually what your lifestyle is while you're preaching, people totally, they zoom in on that without even it being like conscious to them. They just know something isn't right. And this is so important. I think throughout my lifetime, this is the thing that I've seen the most, is that people that really aren't practicing what they're preaching. And as I've gotten older, I feel more sad for them than when I was younger, where I was more judgmental of them. I don't judge anymore. It saddens me that they would preach something that really is not in alignment with what they're actually practicing.
Yeah, perfect. So the third habit is own your space. Basically, it means get really good at what it is you do. Whatever it is that you have decided that this is what you're going to do, you should always work at being the best at that. And obviously, it deals with your skills, your skill set.
This is my favorite habit. This is where I think those of you that are super competitive and like to have a place where you go to when you make your goal, and then you look and see how your goals are aligning and how they're getting checked off. This is owning your space. This to me is definitely the competitive edge inside of me. I love the habit phase. I love the good, the bad, the ugly of it, because it all starts weak and then you grow it to this big muscle. And then pretty soon the habit becomes just something that's like brushing your teeth. I absolutely love habit number 3.
Nice. So let's move on to habit number 4. Habit number 4 is mastermind your tribe. Now, lots and lots has been said about the mastermind concept, but this habit deals with your people. And for me, the mastermind is made up of some different people. Obviously, your spouse, in most cases, would be part of your mastermind. I think that's the most ideal, but I don't think that is absolutely necessary. But I think in the most ideal situation, your spouse should be part of your mastermind. Of course, she is for me, so that totally makes sense. So the other thing is your mentors. Basically, it's important to be coachable, like we talked about, and your mentors should have they should have a vested interest in your success. And then also, I believe to truly be good at your craft, you should teach others how to do it. And so included in your mastermind, your inner circle, is your inner circle, which is what I call the people that I am currently coaching, or I am mentoring or mentors. So those are kind of the main players, the way I see it in a mastermind. Now, obviously, like I said, there's lots and lots that's been written about that, and there's different ways to structure your mastermind. But I think it's important to have a mastermind. And then wrapped around your mastermind is, of course, your higher power, God, the universe, whatever it is that means to you. And then the other part, what you're going to do is you're going to your mastermind to help create and develop your tribe. Your tribe is basically everyone else that you have any influence with at all. Anybody that knows who you are, that's your tribe. And ideally, I strongly believe that one of the most valuable things that you'll ever create in this life is a loyal tribe of people.
And for the fourth habit for me, what I would I guess assimilate this to is that if you want to exponentially grow or go fast or grow gigantic, of course, it's combined with habit number 3, building your craft and getting great at it and building that muscle. But the fourth habit helps you exponentially grow, because the more that you build yourself through being mentored, and the more you develop your skill of actually mentoring others, this to me is the speed of really influencing what it is that either you're selling or you're promoting, or if you're a parent, it makes you better at that. The fourth habit is super important.
Yeah, for sure. Also, if your goals and your dreams, if there's a financial piece to any of that, because a lot of things that would make your lifestyle better will cost money. But one of the things we learned working with Peaks Potential is that we don't really think about it a lot, but where does money really come from? Money comes from people. Money comes from other people. And so that's why it's a good idea to build out your tribe and work with your mastermind to be able to do that. So let's move on to the 5th habit. The 5th habit is pay it forward.
This is my favorite habit. So the 3rd habit was definitely the place that I love the most, but my favorite habit is definitely the 5th habit. And after we go through and share it, because I know David loves this habit as well, I definitely want to close on it with a final thought.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the pay it forward is one that it's hard to articulate if you've never seen it happen or feel it happen, but it literally is, you do something without strings attached, and you know that in the end you're going to be either taken care of, or when the time is right, that your need needs to be met, it will definitely be fulfilled. But you're not doing it because of that. You're doing it because of what it does for the other person. But you know at the end of the day that it comes full circle. Some people call it karma. Some people call it the law of attraction. I just think it's a way of life. It's something that I was taught at a very young age. And again, you have to do it intentionally without strings attached.
There's a couple different reasons. For me, this is the reward. This is the feel-good part of the entire system. This is why we do what we do, because not only is it an important aspect of success, and I'll talk about that in a second, but this is the feel-good part of it. And a lot of people don't realize it until they actually get to experience it. So number one, this is the reward for everything that you're doing. But the other thing is, there's a real kind of sciencey kind of reason for paying it forward, and it's because, you know, like like Alyssa talked about, she talked about karma, and you call it what you want, but if you get into the habit of always going out there and actively searching for ways to pay it forward, to go the extra mile, to add value to others, and you know, it could be little, it could be big. Just always look for ways that you can do that, and they'll happen. You look for ways to pay it forward, and they'll manifest themselves. But if you get into the habit of doing this always, it's like it's like making a deposit in a karmatic bank, okay? Because when it comes time for the ask, when you need something, the universe will beat a path to your door to get and be chomping at the bit to help you get whatever it is that you need. And I know it sounds hokey pokey, but trust me, it works. So let's move on. This little girl right here, she cut off her hair that she loved because she had a friend who lost her hair to chemo. So I mean, it's just little things like that. This was a big thing for this little girl. Let's see, have any more pictures? Good. So the third section. So those are the habits of success. Personal growth, practice what you preach, own your space, mastermind your tribe, and pay it forward. These are those 5 habits. Now, I have a few minutes left, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the generations of growth. This is actually section 4. When you first hear about, excuse me, when you first hear about the process and the system of the 5 habits of success, and you think to yourself, that's pretty cool. I think I want to put these into effect. I want to do that. That is what we call generation 1, thoughts, the desire to do that. You want to add anything there? And then what happens is you go through the process. You reverse engineer your goals, and you reverse engineer your entire plan down. So you identify the specific activities that are your most productive activities. And here's what's going to happen is you're going to create a list of these activities, and once you have them down on paper, then you have the plans, and that's generation 2. But then you have to start doing them. And when you first start doing them, this is generation 3, and it's going to feel a little uncomfortable at first because you're not used to doing them. But here's the cool thing about it is you only have to force yourself to do something until it becomes a habit. And that is generation 4, and that's where all the magic happens. Because once you've got your most productive activities into habits, they're automated. You do them, and you do them without thinking about it. And then it becomes uncomfortable for you not to do them. And that's when you know, and that when you get to that point, when you get those to generation 4, to habits, you will never work another day in your life. And you'll always be productive. And then generation 5, some never make it to this point, but generation 5 is when your lifestyle and your passions become inspirations for others. And that's kind of living in the Zen space, if you will, for lack of a better word. So
in the zone, I like to call it the zone.
It's in the zone. So that's kind of the goal, is to identify your roles, your goals, your passions, and reverse engineer it down into these activities that's going to make it happen. We all know what our daily and what is the income generating activities. We all know what the actual actions are that we need to do in order to get the results that we want. But the only reason that we don't see the results that we want is because we haven't made those things habit, so that it's uncomfortable to not do them. Because most of the times it's uncomfortable to do them. Most of us are somewhere between 2 and 3 and a lot of us work or between 4, right in that ballpark. And so the goal is to work through these different generations of growth. We're running close on time. There's a couple other things that I do want to go over because our Promises to Keep broadcast wouldn't be complete without a P2K challenge. You want to talk about the P2K challenge? Here's what it is.
Yep. So the challenge is that anyone can win it. And all you have to do is this: make one social media post about each of the 5 habits this week. So we'll review those again, but make sure to tag us so that we can track it and use these hashtags. Hashtag P2K, hashtag 5 habits, and everyone can win. So you're gonna go through the whole week, and as long as you post an example of each of those habits, tag us, use those hashtags, then you're going to win a prize. And we're really excited about it. The best way to do this is build up the habit so it's daily. But we want you guys to just get started. So we're going to spread it out for the week.
Yeah, so you can make a video post, go live. You can make a picture post. You can just make a text post, and you can talk about how you felt about the 5 habits, what struck you, what you brought away from this presentation, or you can talk about maybe experiencing yourself beginning to build those 5 habits, or maybe you're already at generation 4 and you have some of this stuff already in habit form. Maybe you could share some of that with us. And so anyway, post something for each of the 5 habits. Be sure to use the hashtag P2K and the hashtag 5 habits. Everybody can win. Everybody that does this.
Use the screen to go over the
week.
5.
Here's the 5 habits again. Go back.
There we go.
There we go.
So for instance, if you're great at personal growth, maybe tag us, do the hashtags, and then tell us your best personal growth advice for other people that are seeking personal advice.
Yeah,
that might be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm really super excited to see kind of what comes out of this, and I'm really excited to bring you next week's Promises to Keep. We're going to talk about something that we haven't talked about yet, and it's going to be a surprise. So watch for that Facebook event to get out there. And
P2K.TV, Sundays, 6 p.m. PST.
All right. See you then.
Bye, guys.